Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Petri. As Randy indicated, I'm started my own consulting firm called Cynosura Consulting. And as Randy alluded, I have a very diverse background. Most recently, before I started my company, and I apologize for the barking in the background. We just recently got a new puppy, and she is not very happy about being isolated from me right now. So hopefully she will settle herself down momentarily. I went as far from her as I possibly could in our house.
Not to
So
worry.
it's not, yeah. So anyways, my background includes both, I served active duty Navy for 11 years as a surface warfare officer and nuclear engineer, served on 2 different aircraft carriers and a destroyer, as well as some shore assignments. I transferred to reserves in 2000 and was an engineering duty officer, finished my career in 2009, retiring as a commander. During that time, I was also working for the defense industry as a systems engineer for Raytheon. And in 2004, end of 2004, we moved here. I've been in Mount Airy for well over 16 years now. And we, quite honestly, other than where I grew up in Pennsylvania, this is the address that I have here in Mount Airy is the address I've had the longest in my entire life. So so I can really consider Mount Airy my home now, and I don't, so I have a really strong connection to calling this home. After we moved here, I got my degree in my master's degree in business administration. Worked for a Siemens subsidiary called TurboCare in Winston for a couple of years, and then I went to Nestor Hosiery. Started out as their sustainability director, and then eventually was their VP of marketing until 2018 when I left the company. I'm going to share my screen. I put some slides together here, and I'm just going to show you what kind of talk about what I'm going to go over here. Just give me a second while I minimize a few things. There we go. So just wanted to do a brief primer on what I consider marketing from my perspective. There's a lot of companies that use marketing in their title, and they do aspects of marketing, and but I really want to kind of put a framework around what I consider marketing and how I approach it with my consultancy. And then kind of let you know a little bit about my company, what services I offer, and what things that you could ask me to do, as well as kind of talk a little bit about the pandemic and the impacts it had on me, but also just some general observations I've made from doing some research on how it could affect companies moving forward in 2021. So I'm going to go through these slides relatively quickly. Please feel free to drop questions into the chat box, as Aunt Randy indicated, and I'll answer questions at the end when I'm done. So a little bit about marketing. I think a lot of people have an idea what they think marketing is, and a lot of people perhaps don't have a full understanding of what exactly marketing encompasses. Start off with what it is not. It is not just merely promotion and advertisement. It's not sales. It's not sales support. It's not having just social media and websites. It's not creating brochures and catalogs. And it's not about pens, water bottles, and other collateral that you hand out with your company name or logo on it. But what it is it's something that's both strategic and tactical. It's about creating products and services for your consumers, your customers. It's about communicating about those products and services. It's about delivering those products and services and about providing value. And a recent McKinsey and Company report indicated that 83% of the CEOs around the world consider marketing to be a key driver for their company's growth agenda. And yet, an observation I've made is a lot of companies think of marketing as one of the last things that, or the last things that they want to invest in, and one of the first things that they stop investing in when times get a little rough. So the American Marketing Association calls marketing the activity or set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings, products, and services that have value to the customers, whether they're clients, partners, but also society at large. And one of the things that I always kind of point back to in terms of marketing is what is called the marketing mix. And sometimes a lot of people really lose sight of the whole marketing mix. When they think of marketing, they primarily think of promotion, but it's also product, price, and place. And there, if you look at some additional literature, you'll see things like packaging, positioning, people, politics, all mixed into those elements of marketing. I would argue that the core is product, price, place, and promotion. These other things are just offshoots of those four core elements. And so what do I mean by that? When I say product, well, here in Mount Airy, we have companies that make tangible products that they sell to consumers or to businesses, whether it's so there's a B2B or B2C entity, but there's also companies that offer services and do things, whether it's for consumers or for other businesses. But marketing also has to take in consideration price, and so that is the value proposition part of your offering. And there's a lot of marketing consideration that goes into place with price, whether you're trying to do volume or profit maximization. What are your pricing strategies? Are you trying to penetrate the market? Are you trying to be neutral with the market? Or are you trying to skim the market and be kind of that premium brand or company out there that offers your product or service? And then there's place, and a lot of people immediately think of like your sales channel, whether it be a retail outlet, your place of business, online, e-commerce, all the various channels. But it's also about your supply chain. It's about the entire value chain of where you get your supply, your course of materials that make your product, or even for your services as well. And then finally, after you've done all those other things, you get into the promotion. And promotion includes things like the branding of your company and products, the actual advertising, public relations, a very important aspect of promotion, content marketing, social media. Even your sales team is part of your promotional aspect of your marketing, in that they're the ones that are on the front line out there communicating your value proposition to your customers and to consumers. Marketing touches everything. In those four P's, product, price, place, and promotion, it touches your product development, engineering, operations. It touches your accounting and finance elements of your company. It's your supply chain management, your shipping, your logistics, and it's also your sales, customer service, and business development. So marketing really is something that is all encompassing your company and should be considered a part of everything you do in all aspects of your operations. So a lot of people ask me, what is Cynosura? What is my name? Where did I come from? Cynosura is another name for the constellation Ursa Minor and its brightest star Polaris, or what we know as the North Star. It's also Latin. Cynosura is the Latin word for North Star, which back in the early days of nautical exploration was what provided direction and guidance to explorers. So Cynosura in that regard is trying to aim to provide support to its clients to help them find their North Star, help them find that true north that guides them in making their decisions and promoting and moving their company forward. So that is the genesis of my name, Cynosura Consulting. My mission really is to help develop marketing strategies, and ideally the ones that make a difference. And that's kind of makes a difference only not only for the company, but in a larger sense. I have a background in sustainability. I believe there's a calling for companies to do more in terms of sustainability and corporate responsibility. And so the marketing strategy put in place should be embracing that as well. My vision is to increase or to create brands focused on transparency and excellence. And my core values are stated there. And each one of those aligns to my mission and vision. The three primary services that I offer are strategy development, helping your company determine its strategy from both maybe a branding and as well as a marketing perspective. Also talk about the authentic branding. I think authentic branding is very important. And for those who know a little bit about Farm to Feed, that was kind of one of the North Stars for us in developing that brand, was something that was authentic that consumers and retailers could really embrace. And then content marketing, the parts of marketing that create content for your consumers and customers to want to seek you out in the marketplace. My expertise areas are all listed there. They're also on my website, which is listed at the top of the slide. Other services that I offer, outsourcing. So I work with various creatives and other companies that do support services in the realm of marketing. And so one of the things I like to consider myself is consider me your general contractor for marketing. Instead of having, a lot of companies don't have the ability to have a full-fledged marketing team. I can come in and kind of take point on your marketing efforts and bring in a team of experts to do everything from copywriting and graphic design to public relations, to social media management, and other things. I also do public speaking and offer services, and I can conduct seminars and training, help moderate panel discussions. I have various topics that I've recently spoken on in the last few years that are listed there. So a little bit on the impacts of the pandemic on my company. It impacted me very, very greatly. I had about 3 or 4 clients lined up last March and I was expecting at least 2 of them to move forward with actual project work for the spring and summer of 2020. But unfortunately, the pandemic had them have to realign, as I'm sure a lot of your companies had to realign with what your priorities were. And so I basically realized that as much as I wanted to do work for people, that there are a lot of companies who were focused on things like how they're going to pay their bills, their suppliers, keep their employees on the payroll. And so I focused on other aspects of maybe creating some more content for my company, and dived in a little bit in doing some public speaking. I was involved in 2 or 3 virtual events last year, where I helped moderate some panel discussions or offer some insights on some topics. But I also did a lot of nonprofit work. I'm on the board of directors for the North Carolina Outdoor Recreation Coalition, and this month I've taken over the chairmanship position for that board. I also joined E2 Environmental Entrepreneurs last year and became one of the inaugural chapter directors for the new Southeast chapter. And then also offered some of my marketing communications support to some of the presidential campaign efforts that were going on last fall. So I'm just going to kind of lead in and just pounce through some of the things that I've seen on, and I'm not going to read all these bullets, you can read them there, but there was definitely, as we all know, severe impacts on business, and those impacts on a business last year are going to impact our post-pandemic marketing. One of the key takeaway on this is that most Americans do not believe we're going to return to a normal post-pandemic. And if you had assumptions that you were making on your marketing efforts a year ago, they are probably no longer valid. And one of the big assumptions is where people shop and how they shop. And one of the things that I read in McKinsey and Company report was the first 7 months of 2020 saw a percent increase in e-commerce online shopping equal to the amount of the change that occurred in the previous 10 years. And so we're in a new age of how consumers are engaging the companies that they shop with, or they work, or they get their goods and services from, and companies need to be thinking about that and how they reach their customers. Supply chains are also shifting, and I think last year was a lot of people had to realize how they're going to do business with their suppliers, and we can't discount the impact of the political divide that's occurring and how that is affecting businesses, and also the fact that we've had some heavy government support, all needed. And I'm sure some of your companies took advantage of the support that we got from the federal government last year. But that's going to have to take. There's going to have to be a dealing with that, and that I think will have an impact on the economy for quite some time, and our businesses as well. But that being said, there's several opportunities. McKinsey and Company indicated that they believe once there is some return to normalcy, there's going to be some revenge shopping. People are going to want to get back out there. And the big impact